What is up, everyone, and welcome back in to another casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, on the left side of the map, we're going to be seeing Kaiser Johann play as the Knights Templar, and on the right side of the map, we're going to be seeing Ayame Sato play as the Zushi's Legacy. Now, both of these civilizations are variants today, and the map is going to be Dry Arabia. So the Knights Templar is a variant of the French civilization, and Zushi's Legacy is a variant of the Chinese civilization. They already have their imperial officer on the battlefield, boosting that food production over there on that side. Very, very strong unit for China and its variants. Those imperial officers are so strong. And now multiple villagers over here moving to gold, doing the standard opener for the Knights Templar. I would imagine we are going to see a 2 TC play today, and a village is going down here for Zushi's Legacy. Now, before everything starts getting really crazy, I wanted to take a moment to read our comment of the day, which comes from user Tangible Yet, who says, if no one makes a suggestion, can you cast a KT game? And yes, absolutely, I do have a lot more suggestions, but this game did look really, really good because I struggle against Zushi's Legacy. So I wanted to check out this game and see how Kaiser Johann plays against Zushi's Legacy. I have a little bit of a hard time with the Zhu Canoe. Even if I build a bunch of horsemen, it feels like I get outnumbered by the Zhu Canoe really, really early, and it feels like they produce so quickly. And so I wanted to see Kaiser Johann play as the Knights Templar, so I can take some notes. I main Knights Templar. This is my favorite civ at the moment, so I need to learn from these very talented players. Remember, if you guys do enjoy these videos, please consider leaving a like or even a comment, because it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm a ton, and we are so close to 500 subscribers, which is the first step of monetization, and I would love to get this channel monetized, and I would really appreciate the support. All right, now back to the game. What we're seeing is a pretty standard opening here for the Knights Templar. I think once these villagers get 200 gold, they are just immediately going to move over to wood to start collecting that 400 wood that they need for their second town center. And then as soon as that age up starts rolling in, I do think that these villagers are going to move over to stone, the food villagers there. And we already get one villager going down on that food immediately, or that on that stone. Over here on this side, it looks like the imperial officer is dropping off those taxes already. Great early gold production. And now we can see that Ayame Sato is going up for the tower upgrade. And so, or the tower age up. So this tower age up is going to produce free military units over time. But what you have to do is you have to put military production buildings within the vicinity of its aura to... And then as you spend resources on those military units, they will eventually unlock free militaries here at the tower. So you have to spend resources to get free units, and there's a very strong age up building there. The other age up would have boosted some economic production on this side of the map, but it looks like Ayame Sato just wants to go with that free military units outright. Sheep here to be collected. Nobody's grabbed that sheep. Somebody needs to grab that sheep. And we are getting this 2 TC play over here on this side of the map. We're getting the Knights Hospitalier. This is the age up I also go with the most. You unlock that unique Hospitalier Knight unit, which can heal your units in Feudal Age, which makes early pushes really strong. If you are able to outnumber your opponent early on, you can just keep diving with some horsemen, pull them back, and get them healed up by those Hospitalier Knights, which is really strong. We're getting some more Imperial officers to boost this production and collect taxes on the side of Zushi's Legacy. I would imagine we're going to see a lot of Zhu Canoe today from that side of the map. We can see now that Kaiser Johann is getting a second TC with 9 villagers down. That TC looked like it went down right about the 4-minute mark. That's a really strong 2 TC opener right there. So quick, and I think a lot of these wood villagers are going to be moved back to food so that Kaiser Johann can produce villagers out of 2 TCs here. And the second TC placement is right on top of the gold and the wood production to protect both of those resources. If we do look at the spawn, the deer is super far away. I tried to put my second TC on deer as much as possible to help with that castle age up, but it's too far away and too dangerous at the moment. And oh my goodness, Zushi Legacy has a deer pack right outside their base. Unfortunate spawn here for Kaiser Johann, who did not get deer anywhere near their base like Zushi's Legacy did. And now we can see we have a stable down and an archery range here for Zushi's Legacy. Now, as these units are produced out of these individual military buildings, the resources spent on them are going to go towards levying a free military from this tower. And right now, it looks like we have it on spawn an army of 4 Jukunu and 3 palace guards. So whenever the resources get to max here, they will get 4 Jukunu and 3 palace guards for free, which is really, really strong. Multiple horsemen now stationed on the outside of Kaiser Johann's base. Where are they going to attack? We do have the pilgrims down. It looks like this pilgrim is glitched. It was moonwalking there for a second, but it looks like it's walking normally now. Military production going down for Kaiser Johann. We do have a stable out to help counter those Jukunu, those very strong early crossbows on this side of the map. Just very, very good. And more military production going down within the range of the influence of that tower. A second stable going down here for Kaiser Johann, doubling down on countering those Jukunu at the moment. And we do see the first Jukunu has arrived outside this base. It looks like Ayame Sato is going for an early push at the moment. They haven't decided to dive a TC just yet, but I would imagine that's going to happen pretty soon to try and shut down this economy on this side of the map, because with 2 town centers, eventually Kaiser Johann will be able to just run away with the game with their economy. 2 horsemen run in to attack this pilgrim. I am absolutely positive that this pilgrim is going to die. The pilgrims, of course, do create gold for free for the Knights Templar civilization. Looks like we have several units gathering around here. It looks like these Jukunu might have been spotted by these horsemen, and definitely now they have been spotted by this horseman. A horseman running in to attack this Jukunu, a second one joining the fight as well. And they're going to do a really good job at cleaning up these units at the moment, but it does look like our Zushi player is moving in reinforcements, and now that first horseman is almost dead. They do ultimately have to retreat, but did get 3 Jukunu kills there, so very good play from Kaiser Johann, who did not lose one of these horsemen yet, but they are actually in a lot of danger at the moment. Now these horsemen are pulling back and gathering around outside Kaiser Johann's base. A huge wave of Jukunu are rolling out, and it looks like our Zushi's Legacy player did grab the Pro Scout upgrade and is now moving deer back to their base to boost that food production. I wonder if they're going to go for any deer anywhere else. And Kaiser Johann did change the location of the pilgrimage to hopefully create some safe gold pathways there for those pilgrims. Oh, there they are right there. There's the city's guard from the tower. That is that free military unit. That is that free military that comes out, and this is how I think people overwhelm their enemies early, is because now they get a ton of units for free. A group of horsemen denying this pilgrimage again. Definitely going to kill that pilgrim, and this is a really, really strong play here from Ayame Sato, who can just position 2 or 3 horsemen outside the base to take down any of those pilgrims. As we can see, a massive wave of forces here from Zushi's Legacy. Up at the top, we can check and see that they have 31 military units, while at the moment, Kaiser Johann, as the Knights Templar, only has 9. So the Zushi's Legacy is just incredible at amassing units early game, and without proper counters, this could turn into a massive problem for Kaiser Johann, but Kaiser Johann is already building those stables and horsemen, and we did get a hospitalier knight as well to start healing. Those early heals could be potentially very, very powerful. We're also getting a archery range down as well, so I do want to pay attention to this army comp here and see how they counter these Jukunu. It looks like mostly just horsemen at the moment, and a ton of Jukunu have run into the bottom of Kaiser Johann's base. Looks like they killed a scout, or it looks like they killed a pilgrim there, and are now trying to burn down this mining camp, but ultimately they decide to retreat a little bit here. They are moving back out of the base at the moment, while in the center of the map, several horsemen run in to attack the small group of horsemen from Zushi's Legacy, but it looks like some hardened spearmen are now making their way here. Our Zushi's Legacy player is trying to counter these horsemen. They need the spears to protect their Jukunu at the moment. But this wave of Zhuge Nu has gotten to a pretty scary point. Nobody's killed a villager yet, but it looks like Ayame might get a villager kill right now. And there it is. The first villager kill of the game goes to Zushi's legacy. Kaiser Johann did lose that villager there. Very, very unfortunate. While up here at the top, several units are running away from all of these horsemen and spears. It looks like they almost got pinched by these Zhuge Nu, but ultimately they are going to make it out with their lives at the moment. Kaiser Johann just moving those military units away from that fight, while even more Zhuge Nu roll out. It looks like they are going to try and steal all of this deer, and this could be a problem here for Kaiser Johann. Having no map resources might be detrimental, but they can just double down on farms. It looks like they already are expanding their farm economy at the moment to make sure that their food is safe. All of those farms back at the TC are going to be safer under those town centers. The horsemen here did make a quick turn on the Zushi Legacy's horsemen, took one of them out. Now they do ultimately have to flee, and this military here for Zushi's Legacy is just so spread out over the map. A horseman here for Kaiser Johann does go down, while this scout almost died to that main TC. And we are getting all of these military production buildings around the center of this tower, and we literally just saw a massive military levy there. They are doing the palace guards, or the city guards yet again, with the Zhuge Nu and the palace guards. A split attack here from Ayame Seto, moving in on Kaiser Johann's base. We have units at the north of the base and at the east of the base, and we do see some battering rams going down as well. While these horsemen here for Kaiser Johann are taking some really heavy damage at the moment. They ultimately do turn around and almost kill one of those horsemen, but just not quite. We're not able to finish that horseman off. And oh my goodness, Zushi's Legacy has just outnumbered the military here from Kaiser Johann to such a degree that this is absolutely ridiculous. But as we can see, Kaiser Johann is ahead economically. A solid 18 villagers ahead at the moment. And this first battering ram does just go for that farm. Another villager does go down for Kaiser Johann, putting Zushi's Legacy at 2 villager kills at the moment. These battering rams are going up for the mills at the moment and the farms to try and delay this economy just a little bit, deciding to retreat at the moment, while more military units here gather for Zushi's Legacy. Ayame looking to burn down several of these farms. These farms are just easy kills at the moment. One battering ram being finished here, and this could be a potentially devastating push, but we are going to have to see who wins this fight. Now we can see that a bunch of spears are joining the party here for Kaiser Johann to try and counter some of the horsemen, but it looks like all of the horsemen are somewhere else here for Zushi's Legacy, and a ton of Kaiser Johann's horsemen do actually get caught out here at the moment. A mass group of archers has been amassed back here at base. While I was following all the units around all over the map, it looks like Kaiser Johann has just been getting so many archers, and these ranged units are going to be able to take out these spears and Zhuge Nu at a distance, which is going to be really, really good for Kaiser Johann as this army pushes into the base. Several battering rams here now taking down the stable, looking to punish this military production. But this is going to allow an opening for Kaiser Johann to move their military in to attack these battering rams. The archers look like they're being microed to take out several of the Zhuge Nu. As we can see, those archers are being successfully microed on the Zhuge Nu in the front line. The early palace guards are getting in a ton of damage, though. A few Hospitalier Knights are standing their ground and helping hold that front line, but ultimately the front line does crumble for Kaiser Johann, and 4 battering rams are now moving in to punish this second TC at the moment. And now it looks like under this TC, Ayame is taking heavy losses, and a ton of villagers move in and start burning down these battering rams, and the archers are doing an incredible job at taking out all of these Zhuge Nu. I think maybe our Zushi's Legacy player did overcommit in that attack at the moment and lost so much of their military that maybe just pulling back and taking out a few farms was the right play there. Because ultimately, even after the front line crumbled from Kaiser Johann, the amount of archers was so large that they were able to just pick off the Jukunu one by one, and that was absolutely devastating, especially when they were standing under that TC that had 8 villagers in it to shoot a bunch of arrows. Looks like our Zushi's Legacy player is falling behind economically. As we can see, our KT player is almost 20 villagers ahead. It is 20. They are 20 villagers ahead here in this game. So we did see really fast that we are getting the academy over here for Zushi's Legacy. This is going to boost the gold collected from those Imperial officers and also give Zushi's Legacy 20% of that gold collected as food. These militaries are fighting on the outside of Kaiser Johann's base. Kaiser has put a massive wall down to protect this flank on this side of the map. The only way now that Zushi's Legacy is going to be able to attack is by burning down that wall or running their forces into these 2 TCs. And after we saw what happened last time, that might be pretty devastating. And with this superior economy, we are seeing 48 villagers on food already. And so they can just keep producing food and wood units like these archers as much as possible. And it looks like Kaiser Johann is pretty close to that castle age up. Is it coming through just yet? There it is. Angevin Empire, that is going to unlock those heavy spears. It looks like they are going with the heavy spears, which is pretty interesting when going into the Jukunu. More palace guards rolling out, helping out the Zushi's Legacy army, who looks like they're going to try and burn down some farms. Just deciding to full dive under this TC. I don't know how successful this is going to be. It looks like Kaiser Johann has greatly outnumbered Zushi's Legacy at the moment, and all of those early palace guards just get absolutely decimated in this fight. That front line is crumbling for Zushi's Legacy, while several of these archers have been successfully microed to take out those unique crossbow units from the Zushi's Legacy side, and this is just absolutely devastating for Zushi's Legacy. I do not understand why they made this attack. At the moment, it does look like they were so incredibly outnumbered. That attack was just absolutely devastating on their own military. Oh, I'm not sure why they did that and why they didn't just keep trying to regroup at the moment. Moving in with even this tiny amount of army that is left to try and take down Kaiser Johann. That was a very failed attack here from Ayame Sato. Not sure why that attack happened. It did look like, just visually, it looks like they were so greatly outnumbered when that attack went through. Maybe they were just looking for some economic delay there. While the Lancers have begun to roll out here for Zushi's Legacy, it looks like they are going to try to burn down this gate here on the outside of Johann's base. And all of these farms, if that gate does fall, these farms are going to be in a lot of trouble, but Johann does move their military here to defend. And oh my goodness, look at the population difference up at the top. Kaiser Johann is at 135, while Ayame Sato is at 92. So we can already see the advantage of this 2TC build just absolutely boosting the KT economy. Not letting this Zushi's Legacy player amass units. So this has been a great learning experience for me. I just need to amass archers and horsemen to fight these Jukunu. Up here on this side of the map, we are getting a market down. And we are in the Tang Dynasty as well, while more military units are being produced. I just don't think Ayame Sato has rebuilt their army to a high enough number to be able to attack at the moment, and these heavy spears are going to do wonders against those Lancers and just absolutely decimate those Lancers. The only thing Kaiser Johann really needs to do here is just keep these heavy spears at this gate so these Lancers can't do anything. And this might be a game-ending battle here. It looks like Kaiser Johann has caught Ayame Sato completely and totally with their pants down. This is going to be devastating here as all of these heavy spears just absolutely decimate that front line from Zushi's Legacy. And now all the archers are chasing those Jukunu out of the territory. I just do not see how Zushi's Legacy could win this fight at the moment. They're so greatly and totally outnumbered, and Kaiser Johann has done an incredible job of defending their base in this game and just focusing on their economic lead so that they could mass produce units and not be shot down by these Juknu. Incredible economic gameplay here from Kaiser Johann. Incredible macro as these units move in to attack. The brace from the spears deals so much damage to all of these lancers. The archers, of course, being microed to take out all the Juknu in the back, and that's just going to be absolutely brutal and devastating for Zushi's legacy. But another military levy does look like it has joined the party. Some more reinforcements are joining, but it is not enough at all. And Ayome Sato calls it with the GG. Kaiser Johann won this one.